sleeping with your brother. Trying to teach me Spanish, but you keep on laughing, 'cause I can't get it right. Why are we going so slow? Oh, 'cause we got naked grandma on the phone. Naked grandma. I saw that. It's a Steve Harvey on Family Feud. Someone gave an answer. What was it? It was like the question was, name something you don't want to see when you're if you're like breaking into someone's house. Name the number one thing you don't want to see. And the guy comes back, he said, naked grandma. It's like, what? And when Steve Harvey repeats it, the way he says it, he's like, naked grandma. It's pretty funny. I do want to practice my second gear wheelies on this. Second gear rolling wheelies. Not right now, obviously, but at some point. I think most motorcyclists understand and feel for that fear when you're like the last you're the last vehicle behind like a row of cars, and there is an oncoming car that's turning left, and they're yielding to turning left. And so you know that like they've seen all of the cars, right? But you're after all of the cars, and you know there's not a whole lot behind you. There's not a whole lot of vehicles behind you. And so I'm always kind of like, I always take extra caution there, because I know that like even if there's, because you know if there's no cars behind you, then it's a higher likelihood that they don't see you. Or not necessarily that. If there's no cars behind you, then there's a higher likelihood that they don't see you, or they turn, not necessarily that they don't see you, but that they will turn and cut you off. Because if there's cars behind you, they probably have a higher likelihood of actually seeing those vehicles, so they won't turn. They'll actually continue to yield to those. They'll continue yielding because they see the cars behind you, even if they don't see you. But if there's no cars behind you, if they don't see you, then obviously they're going to fail to yield, and they'll fail to yield and then cut you off. So that's kind of an important, I guess this is kind of weird to describe. So if I'm coming on, if I'm moving straight, I'm going straight through a light. The scenario is, if there's no cars behind me, right? If there's no cars behind me, I become a little bit more on edge for the situation, because if there's no cars behind me, the likelihood that that person that's yielding to turn left cuts me off is higher. Because if there are vehicles still behind me as I'm going through the green light, that car most likely will see the cars behind me and yield to them, even if they don't see me. But if there's no cars behind me and they don't see me, they just see the last vehicle that is in front of me going through the light, there's a higher chance, obviously, in that case, that they'll cut me off. So that's why I do that simple little trick of doing like a little weave back and forth. It's a little DDFM trick that or that I saw he talked about. It's a simple trick because the light, or our eyes are attracted to motion, so you just move your headlight around a little bit and it increases the chances of them seeing you. So simple little trick. I've noticed it actually work. You can see a car start to turn and then they notice you when you do that little motion. All it takes is a little bobble back and forth. Kind of an interesting scenario, but that also details the importance of knowing what's going on behind you as well as what's going on in front of you. So I feel a little more comfortable when I know that there's cars behind me, because the likelihood of that yielding vehicle seeing them is higher, and therefore the lower the chance that they cut me off. You guys got a cool little green saxophone. Is it green? Can't quite tell from here. It looks like it's green, like a lime metallic green. Yeah, it is.